Man, I swear Twitch and YouTube's be working when they want to work.
It's
Uh,
okay, we can't have a great panel without a little bit of scuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
I can't even say Discord, everyone. It's more like Streamlabs, everyone.
Streamlabs help.
I can't.
Wow, Josh. Okay.
There we go. There we go. Anyways, all right, there we go. All right, cool.
Yay.
Everything's working, so I will go ahead and hop into the audience and let y'all do your thing.
All right, well, welcome everyone to the Sai Q&A panel. I'm Vibripple, and I also have Inventor Miles with me.
Hi
Woohoo.
there.
So
I'm
exciting.
the co-host for this panel, and we're very excited to ask Sai some questions about art.
Yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're excited to have you.
Yay! It's nice to be on. Hello, hello. My name is Sai.
Yeah, so before we start asking questions, just in case they do work for any company, we can't ask anything about NDAs. All right?
hmm
All right. Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
I can
So,
tell you, I don't work for anyone, so that shouldn't be a problem.
gotcha. Gotcha. Just saying, just to make sure.
Mhm.
But anyways, let's go. Without further ado, Sai, would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Sai. I draw a lot of D&D art for my campaigns, mainly my characters. Uh, and I also like magical girls and pink and cute and unicorns and all that kind of stuff. But I'm also a big fan of Sonic and have been since I was like at 7. The earliest memory I have of it is Sonic with a chili dog.
Oh, nice.
I
All
have
right.
to assume it was Sad I Am or something, but I don't remember the
Yeah,
show specifically.
I
It's really
gotcha.
cool.
That's really
Sad AM was
cool.
also one of my first Sonic shows. It's glad to know that there's love for that show. It's really good.
It is. I just like I know I must have watched it as a kid because Sonic with a chili dog on TV wasn't a thing until Boom. But I just wish I could remember actually watching it.
Yeah, memories are weird sometimes. We forget
Yeah,
stuff and whatnot. We like have a faint memory of something, but we know that it happened.
it definitely happened. I have the art from when I was that years old to prove it.
Oh, nice. Um,
hmm
Miles, would you like to ask a question?
Um, I would say, um, have you always wanted to be an artist ever since you were younger? And what was your favorite thing about art as a kid?
Yes. The reason why is because, uh, so I have an older sister who's 8 years older than me, and she was also an artist when I was growing up, and we were like at the tsunami age, right when it was airing in the 90s. And she loved Sailor Moon and would draw it and get like the comics for it, and that influenced me. And I was like, "Oh, that's so cool! I want to draw too." And so because she was an artist, I realized I wanted to be an artist. And uh, the thing that drew me to art is just pretty. I guess you could say you don't really think of much as a kid, but it's pretty, and you can draw cool stuff. And look, the pictures are moving.
Yeah, I've always loved Sailor Moon and Magical Girls as well, and the color pink too. So, yeah.
It's a great
Yeah,
answer. It's really cool that you got your siblings involved and that you had a good relationship and sharing the joy of art together. That's really cool.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Would I have memories of my sister and me because I had really really long hair, and she would try and put it up into the Sailor Moon buns, and it would get all tangled and messed up. It didn't go very well, but we would try. And like one year, I was like Sailor Moon, and I don't know when I was 6 or so.
That's so cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely a big inspiration for my art.
Yeah. So, so what got you into Sonic? Um, I mean, wait, we already answered that. Wait, yeah. Sorry, I forgot.
You're
So,
you're
are there
good.
Are there any drawings that you're the most proud of?
Yes, let me go and grab them. I can probably screen share those if that's okay, because I have them all in one place.
Nice.
Okay, let me move up here. So, this is my D&D character that I play.
That
Um,
is so cool.
she is a bright maid, which is a homebrew class, which is like unicorn mutant. A unicorn blesses an unborn baby, and then they can become like either just the horn or like full centaur, whatever works for you. Um, and her full name, because in like D&D, Fae have long names so that they can't get stolen or their true name can't, all that stuff. Her full name is Amaryllis Rose Lunaria Wolfgang Lionheart Armstrong.
That's
And
a mouthful.
it is, and I only realized about like a few sessions into playing, which we started this 4 years ago, that her first name can be shortened Amy, so her name became Amy Rose.
Nice.
That's amazing. Your art is really good. I especially like the cell shading, and I really like the color palette you picked.
Thank you. I wanted to be as self-indulgent with this character as possible, so I went with unicorns and pink, but she also punches with her gauntlets, so,
That's
it's
so
kind of inspired for Amy too. There's a lot of unintentional Amy Rose inspiration in this that I assure you I did not think of when I was making her.
I guess it just kind of rubbed
creative.
off.
It did. Here's
Yeah.
some more art of her.
That's
This is
really
like
cool.
this is like an alternate timeline where instead of a unicorn, it was like a nightmare that blessed her.
That's really cool. I love
I
the
love the
red and black color
contrast.
palette. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm very bad at responding to compliments, just so you know. I'm not writing them off. I'm just very bad at responding.
No, you're good. I totally get it.
I am just thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
Here's I used to have this very sketchy Crayola style that I used a lot. I don't use it as much now.
Gorgeous.
This is beautiful. I love lineless art.
Me
It's
too.
really cool.
It is very fun. It takes a lot more planning. This one, I don't know if I can show that one.
Ah.
There's nudity. There's nothing shown. So let's go right past that. There's this one based off of a tarot card.
Ooh.
It's amazing.
Then this one is my friend's character who is also a bright maid. Her name is Bliss.
That's so
And
cool.
yeah,
I love
she's really
the way
pretty.
you changed up the line art here. Like, it's not completely straight. It's like sketchy. It's really cool.
This is actually what so I tend to go through at least like 3 to 4 sketch layers before I get to the final line art, because I want to make sure everything is correct. And sometimes when I like look at it differently, the proportions are just off, or like the arm is too long, or etc. And this was my final sketch before I was going to go into the final layer, but I decided I just liked it as is, so I just colored it.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Thank you. This is another director.
I
Her
really
name's
love
Ash.
the way you draw eyes. Very expressive.
Thank you. She is a dryad and a naiad. Like her mom was a dryad, her dad was a naiad, so she's a mix of it, which is why she has flowers growing in her water hair.
That's really nice. Whoa.
Thank you. I love playing with weird concepts. Here's some sketches of Ash that I really, really liked.
These
I
are
love
very
those.
expressive. I love all the
Yeah.
poses.
I love the expression, yeah.
She's my more expressive character. Amy is her like backstory mainly revolves around her like being isolated for a long time, so she has very little social understanding. Ash is the opposite, so it's fun to play with her because she is a lot more expressive than Amy, even though I play Amy a lot more.
Yeah.
And Gravity Falls.
Gravity
Gravity
Falls.
Falls.
Yes.
It was a very big series for me in like 2015, 2016. I was kind of known on Tumblr for drawing it for a long while. This piece actually is really cool to me because I posted it onto Twitter and Alex Hirsch retweeted it.
Oh, that's really cool.
Gravity
love the
Falls
color
is
palette here.
definitely very artistically inspiring.
Oh, it is. I have a ton of sketch art that I didn't have on hand to post, but I would take like these beige gray color pens and then color it and then put only the colors gold and burgundy into it so that it popped out whenever I drew like Stan and Ford.
Oh, that's really cool.
It's really neat.
Yeah, I wish I had some on hand, but I didn't.
That's okay.
Here's this
Oh,
one.
wow.
Completely.
Oh, nice.
This one's like a mix of realism and cartoon. It's really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
looks really cool.
I don't do backgrounds a lot because it's not my forte. I used a lot of references of the background for this.
It looks great
the-
though.
Thank you. It's I think I did this, I don't know, a month or two after it ended. But this was what like kind of my normal style for those years. It was a little bit more cartoony realistic, and now it's more realistically cartoony. I flip flopped on the percentage scale somewhere.
Nice. That's really cool.
It's definitely one of my favorite pieces. And then back to Amy. And here is some more. Here's Bomb. He's my first D&D character.
Oh,
He's a
neat.
he's a demolitionist changeling who is gender fluid because he's a changeling. He can just change whatever gender he feels like.
Nice.
That's really good. I'd say my favorite part is the way you exaggerate facial expressions to really show what they're feeling.
Yeah. I love how your art has so much expressiveness to it.
Thank you very much. It makes me happy.
No problem.
Here's another one. This is one of my line lists.
Oh, that's cute.
This was like to give an summary. He was like in an old campaign where it was like more dungeons than like modern, and then he got like sucked through a wormhole, and it was like modern day sci-fi. And this little computer character became like his little brother, kind of, and his name's C4. And I started following him.
Aw.
This is very charming, and the
Yeah.
lineless art makes it look like a children's book style.
For real,
Yeah.
yeah.
I would love to do a children's book in this kind of style. Maybe one day, who knows?
One day we'll be cheering for you.
Yeah, and you can see again that these last few pictures have had the Crayola style that I used to have.
Yeah.
I don't have it much anymore because I kind of got tired of it after like 4 years. But it was my main texture style on Paint Tool Sai, which is what I use on my computer to draw.
Nice.
But nowadays, I tend to draw more on my iPad, which I'm still getting used to that. And it has different textures and different settings that I'm used to.
Oh, nice. Do you use Procreate or?
I do. Yeah, I
Oh,
use
great.
Procreate.
Procreate's great.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's got a lot of things that I really enjoy, and I can animate on it really simply, which is great for me because I like to do like simple animations. I didn't have any here, but I don't do very complicated ones because I'm not an animator. I don't actually know how to do it. I just kind of draw and then see what happens.
Yeah, that's really cool.
But it's very fun. And this is Cookie Run. I don't know if anyone here plays it, but
Cookie Run.
Oh yeah, I've heard of
Yeah.
that game.
yeah, I got into Oven Break. I think half a year ago. I'm not playing as much, but when I got into it, the big storyline was between String Gummy Cookie, Timekeeper Cookie, and Croissant Cookie.
I
What I
love
find
the way
really
you
cool about
humanize
this
them.
piece is how you have the broken line art where it's not all connected together, so it kind of looks like it's from a kids' TV show, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I So one of the reasons my art is like that is because like when I was in high school, I really wanted to draw like manga style. But the more I try to do that level of detail, and how complex manga style can be, even if it's like shonen, still very complex. I just wasn't happy with it. I like would fall into these perfectionist rabbit holes, and it would make me mad at what I was drawing, and I just wasn't satisfied. So at one point, I just decided I'm not gonna care about making the line art perfectly connect, or if these lines don't match it like correctly, or I'll just go by vibes and what feels good, and I was much happier with afterwards.
That's
It gives
great.
your
I
art a
love your
lot of
style.
charm.
Pardon? I didn't hear what you guys said.
Sorry, Miles, you can go first.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to say that your style is very unique, and I'm glad that you were able to figure it out about what you like the best about art and not try to make it perfect, because that's what makes it so special.
Yeah. I was gonna say I love the not connected line art because it gives your style a little bit of charm. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
problem.
with art, you definitely have to find your level of what is good for you. I heard somewhere there's like an 80% rule, where as long as you hit to 80% of what you want something to be, then you're going to be satisfied with it. And then
Yeah.
like over time, that 80% will go up higher and higher as you gain skill. But yeah, I'm glad I did it. Here's some recent lineless art I did last year.
Ooh,
Danny Phantom.
that's really cool.
It's amazing. I could tell this one took a lot of planning about how to do the lineless art.
The funny thing is, yes and no. This was actually a sketch page that I turned into a line art or lineless art piece because I just ended up liking how it looked. It wasn't intentionally planned this way, but I felt like doing lineless art that day, and when I did, I had to really plan it. But prior to that, it wasn't planned; it just happened.
Well, that's the best when it's actually not planned all the way too, because then it can just come together naturally.
Hmm.
Yeah.
This is I don't know if you guys have seen Danny Phantom, but it's like the ultimate enemy.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen a
Uh,
little bit.
so the scary looking guy on the top left, he's from the Ultimate Enemy. It's his only canon appearance, except for the comic book novel that's coming out next year
That's
or
really
this year.
cool.
But he's evil alternate future Danny, because in one timeline, Danny's family and friends die, and then he has to live with his like arch nemesis. And he's like, I want to tear out my human feelings because he's half ghost. And then the ghost half gets mad at being torn out and tears out the arch villain's half ghost, and then they fuse, and then they kill human Danny. That's canon. This is canon, a kid show.
Oh, geez, that got dark.
And it happened because Danny cheated on a test. Basically SATs.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
yeah, it's one of the darkest episodes. So it's a very big fan favorite. But the guy on the right, the purple guy, he's clockwork, and he went back in time to set events right so that doesn't happen. So that's the whole concept of
Ooh.
that.
Yeah, I
It's one of
love
my
when media does the evil version of the protagonist. It's really cool.
It's even more interesting because he's not just the evil version of Danny, though he's always called like older Danny, but he's also the arch nemesis. He's half of the arch nemesis is Ghost too.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if anyone here knows Like Show 21.
I haven't heard of it.
It's a really old manga. Um, it's about American football, as you can see, and it was It was actually drawn, not written by, but drawn by the guy who's drawing One Punch Man right now.
Ooh, that's really
So
cool.
yeah, but this is kind of some of my older, like chalkier style, sketchy style.
I actually really love that kind of style. It's really cool.
Me too.
It's one of those that I have to be in the mood for, but I really enjoy it when it all comes together.
This page
Yeah.
really came together well.
Yeah, I wanted to include all the members, and a lot of the times when I wanted to draw something but I didn't really know what, I would just open up a blank page and then start sketching whatever I could fit into that space. That's how, like, my bomb art before, that's how that came about, and some others. But it's like it's almost like an art experiment or challenge.
That's really cool.
So this was a Secret Santa I did for my friend who likes both the Labyrinth and Howl and Sophie and House Moving Castle. So I did.
Oh my god, that's gorgeous.
This is beautiful.
I love how floaty the dress looks.
That dress is like amazing. I don't know what they did to make that dress, but I had a hard time capturing it in art because holy crap.
It looks
The
amazing.
detailing on the clothing is beautiful.
Yeah, I
I-
agree.
Thank you. As you've kind of noticed, I try not to do a lot of detail in my art. That kind of goes back to the line art situation, but I also prefer to keep clothes simple too. I don't really like drawing armor or anything like that.
That's understandable.
Yeah, but I do when I get the chance to try and do something detailed. I try to do my best and get as much there as possible.
You
This
do
is
great.
this is based off of a gift someone posted on Tumblr about like Sephiroth and Peach like making poses in Super Smash Brothers.
This is really good.
It was very fun to draw. And I think this is my first time drawing Sephiroth.
It looks amazing. Again, it looks
Um,
super expressive and I love that. Ah!
I love the way you draw hands.
Oh, thank you. Hands are certainly something to try and get right.
They're
And
so hard to
very
draw.
What would you say is your favorite thing to draw, like anatomy wise?
And I would honestly say like the chest and torso area, just because of the way it can bend and the movement of it. Like if they're slumped forward, it can mean something in different shapes, and when they're slumped back and when it's staying, it, it's very interesting to me. More so than like faces or hands and such.
Ah, that's interesting.
Really cool.
Yeah, it's kind of a strange answer, but human torsos can do so many things. It's wild. Also, I've never played Final Fantasy VII, but my friend really loves it, and she doesn't really like Sephiroth a lot, but she loves Aerith, and so sometimes she would just come talking smack about Sephiroth. So that's where these came from.
Oh my
This
goodness.
is really cute.
That's so goofy. I love it.
Very silly, goofy comic style, and then there's this.
I love that.
The joke here, because some people don't get it, it was Sephiroth's quoted line that he's known for is, "Would you?" Was "I will bring you despair," which sounds like despair.
That's so funny.
That's not the pair.
I love how angry he looks.
He knows he's being mocked.
Yes, he knows.
The
He knows
shading
it.
that you put on his face really emphasizes his annoyed and angry expression.
Yeah.
This is also a style I don't use as often. It's like halfway between normal and chibi, but it's one that I really like doing for like simple comics. So this one, I
Ooh.
don't know if anyone here has heard of the One Piece podcast.
I have not.
Yeah, I haven't actually.
So One Piece Very, very long manga series. I think they're up to chapter 1083 now.
Oh,
82, 83.
jeez.
And I'm a big fan of it. And the One Piece podcast has been around since 2012, I believe, 2011, 12.
Nice.
And so I'm one of the artists on their team who draws some things. And these are all the members of the crew so far, including me. I'm the one with the pink hair. Um, and this is on their uh, website page with all the crew. But the One Piece podcast is super cool because they've gone to Japan. They've made a documentary about like One Piece and Oda, the author, and even gone to like his high school, talked to his old teachers, talked to one of his past editors, all this stuff.
That's
And
amazing.
Greg, he is the is Greg in this one? Okay, he's the one on the very right with the little shell looking thing behind.
Aw.
He has actually met Oda. He's a super fan who lives in Japan. He's American, and
Whoa.
he went on an editorial thing in Japan where it was like the editors versus super fans about One Piece trivia. And this is the first time they didn't win, but the second time they did win, and he was part of the both teams. And his passion is like so well known. He actually has a job working for Shueisha, One Piece's publisher company, writing
Ooh,
articles about One Piece.
that's really cool.
Yeah, they're honestly really cool, and like we've got Steve Yurko at the top left, who he works as a storyboard artist, and he's done Rick and Morty in the past.
Oh, that's really cool.
hmm And like Maddie, she draws some really awesome stuff, and Zach, who he's the one in the middle with like the red strings. He started the podcast with Ed, and it's really funny because he's a lawyer by, well, at least when he started. I don't know if he still is, but we got lawyers, we got wrestlers, we got artists, we got the official translator for One Piece, a whole bunch of people. The guy with the cat on the left, he was a director for Rick and Morty for a
Oh, that's really cool.
while. Yeah, so we got like people from all flocks of life here, just passionate about One Piece, joining in the podcast, just doing whatever they want.
It's so great to see so many people from different walks of life come together to do something they love.
There's
You really
Joey.
captured everyone's personality very well.
Thank you. There's Joey with the comic panels because he draws comics for a living. Like I talked to each of them and asked them for references and like what expression they would want, details, tattoos. For example, the tattoos on the bottom left took me like 6 hours to get right.
Oh, gee. That
It's
looks
hard to
really
see
good,
it.
Very
though.
detailed.
Yeah, it's hard to see from this, but yeah, there were so many details in those tattoos, and I wanted to get it right because that's what they wanted, and I'm really happy with how it came out.
Yeah, it
But
looks great.
yeah, I just asked each one of them what they wanted, and I'm glad with how they all came out. There's one, and here is some that art I told you about for when I was like 7.
These are
Aw.
amazing.
Yeah.
He's old. I must have been watching like Sonic X or something when I drew these because I don't know where else I would have gotten this. Powerpuff Girls behind it.
I love the style that you have for Sonic characters. It looks like you would be able to have your own manga.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe. The Sonic characters are actually really hard for me to draw because of their face and muzzle shape. It's just not what I'm used to. So getting the proportions right always messes me up. I once got asked by someone to help with like a reanimation Sonic thing, and I was like, "I'm sorry, I can't. I would not be able to put out the work that you would need because I can't draw them
Aw.
that fast."
That's understandable, though.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely understandable about the muzzle shapes. That's one of the things I struggle with. It especially when drawing tails, to get the fluff on both sides of his face like evened out.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
the way some
non-human
people can just
characters
do
are really
it. You
sorry.
know?
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Just the way some people can like get it, like the IDW comics, I just find fascinating in how well they can get the characters and get all that detail, and yet not make it look overdone every single time.
Yeah. I was
What were
gonna
you gonna
say
say?
non-human characters are really hard to draw.
Yeah, I I've only drawn like furry type characters or anthro type characters a couple of times, mainly for D&D, because there's like talking cats and talking elephants, and Um,
Nice.
but every time I'm like, "Am I doing this right?" I ask my furry friends who actually know how to draw furries.
That's totally understandable.
For me, I can't draw humans, only animal related characters. So it's really cool that you can draw humans.
Uh, we are like the grass is growing on the other side, except admiring the grass.
Yeah.
Here's a comic I did of Amy and Shadow. I don't know why I drew this. I just felt like drawing it.
Aw, Amy looks cute here.
Yeah. The
This
idea
is
is
great.
that the idea was that Shadow didn't realize how strong she was.
Haven't a lot of people like say that Amy has inhibitor rings because she's so strong and has that hidden strength, and that's why her hammer is so big because she's strong.
I would
Yeah.
appreciate that. There's the one IDW that came out recently where she like lifts the giant hammer and crushes the badnik, and Silver's like, "I only helped with that a little bit. What the hell?" And then this,
Oh my
my
god.
human.
I love the way you incorporated their designs and humanized them. I said that about the Cookie Run one, but I really love how you humanize non-human characters.
When I do, I try to like not just take away their attributes, because that what's the point in making a character into another species or something and just making them just like another like anime character or white character
Yes,
or whatever.
exactly.
What's really
That's
cool is that
boring.
they still have the aspect of the animal they represent, that they're not just like a recolored anime character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, would find that just really annoying.
Me
And
too.
I've seen art of like Knuckles like that and of Rouge, and I remember this is from like when I was still on DeviantArt and like I don't know, 12, 13, 14 years old. I drew a human version of Rouge, and I distinctly remember giving her darker skin because I was really mad at seeing people draw her with lighter skin as a human.
It looks good on her.
It does.
It does.
Yeah, I love the contrast.
It really makes like the black and white pop out
Yeah,
on
it
her.
does. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Let's see. So I didn't know who Shattuck was.
Oh,
I
that's really
still
cool.
I still don't really know who Shattuck is, but one day I just wanted to draw fusions of the main Sonic boys, the three hedgehogs, and apparently this is Shattuck, I guess.
Shattuck,
This is
that looks
really
cool.
cool. I love all the highlights, and the color palette you picked is really cool. It's both
Yeah.
warm and cool at the same time.
Yeah, I wanted to have like a darker, but not completely dark, because that wouldn't fit. And then the shoes, I wanted to make it still Sonic soap shoes, but with like the little added flourish.
That's really nice.
It's like a mix of Sonic's soap shoes and Shadow's shoes.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. And here's
Really cool.
this is Shadow and Silver.
This is
Ooh,
really
I
neat.
No
love the
wait,
boots.
I love
no
the
wait, this is
colors
Sonic
you
and Shadow and
picked.
Silver. Yeah, I wanted to again make it so that they have attributes.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, no
And
problem.
this is Shadow and Silver. I got them mixed up.
Ooh, that's really nice. The heels are so cool.
Shadow when he feels would
What's
kill
really
everyone.
cool is you managed to bring out the aspect of both characters without being too much of one character or the other. Like it really
Yeah.
stands out.
That's I really like playing with character design stuff. I don't tend to go into super high detail about things, but I try to keep it simple and simplifying the process. And including that is like, okay, what can be best presented with this character and that character in a simple way.
Yeah.
And then here's Amy.
Oh, that's so cute.
This is really good.
Hello, phone. Hello, phone. Um,
Whoopsies.
yeah,
I love the ruffles under the dress.
I think Amy is the type to wear like floofy ruffles.
Yes, definitely.
If she ever gets like an updated design for the dress, I hope that she just like has those Madoka Magica like the floof underneath.
Yes,
One that'll
please. I
stop,
would love to see that.
one that would stop panty shots, so you wouldn't have to keep editing them out, or
Yeah.
just working around them. And two, it's cute. It looks like roses. She's a rose.
Yeah,
I
it
agree. It
does.
would really add a nice flair to Amy. Like her outfit is already nice, but I feel like it would really spruce up her dress and make it like a lot more unique.
It
Yeah.
would. And then here's Rouge.
Oh
Whoa, that
wow,
looks
that's
really
really good.
cool.
In a lot of my sketch art, because I'm mostly showing you like completed art, but in a lot of my like low key sketch art, I try to just keep it monochrome because it's easier for me.
I really love the way you
Ooh.
drew her legs because how like in Sonic X she's has very powerful like kicking powers and you've really
Yeah.
incorporated that into it.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
I also try to give her more. I I don't know. I just wanted to give her different features on her face, so like a wider nose and a little bit thicker lips.
Yeah, you did a great job.
This is
Thank
great.
you. And then back to that. I'm going
All right.
to change Windows back.
Woohoo.
I think that's all the stuff I had. Yep.
Yeah, Miles, you want to ask a question?
All right. Are there any specific artists or art styles that you're most inspired by?
Uh, I'm definitely inspired by One Piece. Not so much that you can like easily tell, but it definitely helped inspire like certain ways I draw like faces. Because just to move this aside real quick, a lot of times I'll draw like this for a face if I'm going for like a more stern character.
Ooh.
And this is mostly seen in a lot of One Piece characters, like Zoro and like Sanji and all that. So in that way, and then certain ways I draw arms and like muscles, because there's a lot of muscly men in One Piece. Everyone has a six pack.
Yeah.
That's not me joking. Everyone has a six pack in One Piece.
So, what's one thing you've always wanted to draw but you haven't yet?
Uh, that's a harder question to think of, to answer.
That's all right.
There's just because my interests change all the time because I have ADHD.
Oh my
So my
god, yes.
hyperfocus, my hyperfocus
Yes.
like changes.
Yeah.
So trying to like give that an answer is like, what am I currently obsessed with? D&D. I draw that all the time. So I don't know. I guess one thing I would want to do is something with my D&D characters like all together, instead of just
Yeah.
one pictures of them or just doodles of them, just all together in a finished piece.
Yeah, group photo. That would be great.
Yeah.
It's a really good answer, and honestly, that's really understandable. Like as someone who is also neurodivergent, interests can tend to shift and change, and also like it can be tend to get like I tend to get distracted and things like that. So it's kind of hard to think about like one specific piece I would want, and I'll sometimes end up with a bunch of work in progress that aren't finished. So
Oh
that's
my
completely
god, I felt
understandable.
that.
Yeah. That is a mood. And sometimes like some series like you really really liked or video games or whatever, and then after a while you just don't care anymore, and you're like, why did I want to do all these things with this?
Yeah, literally. Like, now I'm drawing a bunch of Nights related stuff because 'cause I'm hyper fixated on that, and now I'm looking back on my Five Nights at Freddy's security breach art, and I'm like, "Why did I do that?" Yeah. So, yeah, I totally understand that. Miles, you wanna
Wait,
ask another question?
um, what would you say is your favorite medium? Like, would you prefer digital or traditional?
So I actually went to college for art. So I've actually done a few different kinds of traditional art, like
Ooh.
sculpting and painting and um, stuff like that. Uh, I enjoy all kinds of art. I'd say my preferred is digital, if only because it's the quickest, simplest, and there's less like cleanup after. Which again, ADHD neurodivergent. If there's more work involved, it's just harder to do because your brain doesn't want to do it. But I really like marker work for traditional art because it's similar, it's quick,
Yes.
it's fast, and I don't have to worry as much about cleaning up paints and not putting the paint into the sink so it clogs up the sinks, or uh, getting clay and getting the clay wet and moist, and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, that's a great answer.
Yeah.
Markers are definitely a really cool medium to work with. What do
Yeah.
you like? Do you like the water-based ones, the alcohol-based ones, the oil-based ones?
I like what's it called? Not Prismacolor. What's the other one? Um,
Um, there's Sharpies.
the ones that artists in Japan always use. I'm struggling to
Oh.
remember the name.
Posca?
No, crap. They're expensive ones for sure. I can't remember what the name is, but I like doing those for colors. But I also really like using. Do I have it? Yes, I have some here with me. Copic. That's it. Copic.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Oh
Copic.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have the generic brand of the Copics because they're so expensive.
Yeah.
Um they
Yeah.
have I think it's on Amazon they're called Ohuhu. It's like a generic brand, but they still work pretty well. They're still alcohol based, so I think
Yeah.
that would be a good choice for someone who's starting and doesn't want to commit to buying the Copics yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Don't.
just did a Google search. 84.93 for Copic markers? Jeez.
Yeah, usually you buy them in packs of like 5 to 7, and then you get one each if you need one. You don't go big for Copic unless you like know you're going to use them.
Go big or go home.
Pretty much. But the other markers that I actually use a lot of are these uh, Faber Castell, and they have like the gray kind of brown tinge that I would use in my Gravity Falls art.
Ooh, that's really cool.
That brand's
Mhm.
really good.
It is. It's the color palette I used. It almost looks like you spilled coffee on newspaper. Almost.
That's a really pretty color palette.
It is. That was my favorite to use when I was doing. If I just wanted like quick art on paper, but I didn't want to like go full color. And I rarely go full color on paper. I just don't like it for some reason. I only go full color on my digital or if I'm doing like painting and stuff.
Kind
I
of
always
seems
uh,
like it would be like an earthy color palette kind of.
yeah.
Yeah. Uh, Let me actually check. I think I have a couple of Gravity Falls art from them in my pictures. Maybe.
Yeah. I have a question. Do you have any advice for aspiring artists?
Keep drawing. You don't get good in a day.
Practice makes
Like,
perfect.
and the other thing is too, don't give up. It's easy to just want to give up, Um, and it's like understandable why you would want to. It gets frustrating, and especially if you don't have like good hand control in the first place, or whatever control that you're looking for. But there are, uh, if you have like shaky hands, you can try digital art and traditional, because digital has the stabilizers in it, so you can account for that and still draw without having to worry about it.
Stabilizers
And
definitely are a game changer.
yeah, it's okay. I found a piece that I can share. Crap. Let me change screen again. So this is kind of what I would do with markers.
Oh, that's so pretty.
This is beautiful.
Very monochrome with only like bits of color here and there, and then this earthy like gray brown toning.
I
I
love
really
the
love the
details in the
way
sky.
you filled in like all of the background and like left some parts like open so that it leaves kind of the effect like a spackling star effect, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I believe for this I actually used white paint and did it on top to do the spackling.
That's
Oh, that's
really
really
neat.
neat.
So that's the other thing too with art. You can literally just mix media if you're doing it traditional. There's no harm in it. For a lot of my pieces, if I needed like a white outline, I would just finish the piece normal and then take a little bit of white paint and do it on top. Or, if I can't get a shine where I want it to, a little bit of white paint. Or you can use colored pencils. I actually used a lot of Prismacolor color pencils in high school to color things. I don't have any of those pieces with me, but they're they're very good at like blending the colors and shading together. And
Nice.
you could use that on top of marker or with paint, or literally you can do whatever you want. Art is art. There are no restrictions unless you feel that you want to give yourself some, and even then you can break those whenever you want.
Yeah.
White paint is definitely great to play around with. It's like really versatile, I'd say. So it's really cool when someone incorporates white paint.
Yeah.
Yes. And like an expression again, you do what you want. Like if someone tells you your art sucks, just ignore them, because everyone's art sucks at some point. You don't start off good.
Yeah, you gotta ignore the haters.
I know it's really hard for some people, and I've known friends who like just get so discouraged or just give up automatically. But you really do just have to have the perseverance to keep going, or else you will never like get any better. And that like goes for
Yeah.
a lot of things, but not just art, but art especially, because behind every piece of art is like a million sketches that helped improve that one part you were drawing.
Yeah, I totally get it.
I definitely agree. Like, especially
Yeah.
about the part where you go through multiple layers of a sketch before you refine the main line art. Like, sometimes I'll have like one time I think the most layers I've had is like over 50 or 60, and it just can get pretty insane when you're
Oh,
putting
geez.
together a rough draft.
Oh yeah, I've not for sketches, but one of my older pieces, I think it was for Gravity Falls. I hit layer limit in Sai point one, and that layer limit is like 300.
Oh, geez.
So, and and that's another thing. You don't always have to use layers. Some people use layers. If you're doing digital art, you don't have to. Like some people like think there's this culture or these rules you have to follow with certain forms of art too. And digital art is like one of them. And like you have to do cell shading, or you have to do this, or you have to. You don't do what feels natural
Yeah.
to you.
That's the beauty of art.
Experiment.
It's so versatile.
hmm You experiment, and that's how you figure out what you like. Like I used to do the sketchy Crayola style, and I did that after like struggling for like 6 months with because I wasn't happy with my art. So I went and figured out, like, okay, maybe I can use different textures. Okay, this texture isn't working. This texture isn't working. I went through a lot of combinations of textures before I got to that.
Yeah, that's understandable. Miles, you have another question?
What brings you the most joy about your art? Like, what's your favorite part to do? Like, do you like the coloring? Do you like the line art? Do you like the planning? What's your favorite part about it?
Say it depends on the day. Because again, I'm kind of, it's almost a joke, but I did go to college for art. So I'm very passionate about a lot of types of art and a lot of things in art. And some days I'm just really loving how a line art is going. Or some days I'm just really happy with this color palette or how these colors are going together. Or some days I'm just really happy with the composition and I'm really feeling that composition. So it really depends on the day.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
I'd say that's a really good answer because it varies and it's not always the same. It depends on how you're feeling each day. So I'd say that's a really nice and relatable answer.
Yeah,
Yay.
definitely. Miles, do you want to move to audience questions, or do you have a couple more questions to ask? Because I'm out of ideas.
Um, how would I move to audience questions again?
So we can move to audience questions, and I can ask you, oh, who do you want to call up, and we can call up somebody, and they can ask a question.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
All right, I'll go first. Let's see. How about Kevin? Come on up.
Hello, how's it going?
Hello, Kevin.
Hello, hello. So my question to you, Sai, is there any particular person that inspired you? I know there was a question asked earlier, like if there was any child or any of that nature inspired you, but was there like any, excuse me, was there any particular person that served as your inspiration?
The one that pops into my head right now is Mayoko. I don't know if y'all know who they are.
I have not heard of them.
I
We'll
have
definitely
not.
have to check them
You
out.
have to link to them, and I'll check them out.
I will. They're an artist on Twitter, and they actually have a art book out, and I think they're planning a second one. But
Ooh.
I can actually go onto phone right now and link them really quick. But they have such beautiful, like simple, like beautiful colored art, and the way they play with like um, video games, but with um, flora inside of it, like growing in it, or a mermaid with her tail, but it's like a glass with water inside, like stuff like that.
I will have
Yeah.
to check them out then. But thank you for answering my question.
Yeah.
They also
thank
have
you.
a shop, and a lot of their designs are in that. But
I will
I
definitely
linked
check them
one.
out.
Oh, wow, that's really pretty.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
gorgeous.
I love the rabbit.
Wait,
Yeah, she
we gotta put this.
I don't know where to post these.
Yeah, hold on. We should probably put this in the discussion channel. And yep, Kevin's got it. Yeah.
Yay!
Yay, Kevin. All right. Miles, do you want to call someone up?
How about Sally Acorn? How do you call
Okay.
them up again?
Yep.
Oh, there we
Nope.
go.
You're good.
I got it. I came it and because I know she was pulling up the street, because I don't want when I hit the accept, it won't let me go in. So hello everybody.
Hello, hello, hello.
All right,
Hello.
so how y'all doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just playing some Animal Crossing with my friend.
Heck yeah.
I love
All right,
Animal Crossing.
same. I actually had a question for you, Sai. If you had to draw any of the Sonic characters from the different anime shows, which one would you pick and why?
So from the different anime shows, or
Mm-hmm.
like, are you including like comics like Fleetway or IDW?
Well,
And
different anime shows.
if I had to, honestly, I really do like Sally a lot. I've never drawn her, but as a character, I really like her, and I really like Cosmo a lot too.
Yeah.
And
Ooh.
I think one of my favorites was Scourge for a long time before that all happened.
Nice.
Oh, that's nice.
And the shark people, I forget what they were called, but in the Archie comics, the shark folk.
The shark?
Oh, yeah.
I really like their designs too.
Wait,
And the
shark
betas too.
like the razor and I think coral or the beta, I guess.
Yeah. Yes, I love their designs.
Oh,
agree.
okay. You know what would be funny if Side made Sally Acorn or dressed up as Loose Nosita from the Owl House? That'll be amazing.
You know, I could do that. Also, fun fact: we mentioned Gravity Falls earlier. What's his name? The creator of Amphibia, who worked on Gravity Falls, follows me on Twitter, which we've never really
nice.
Oh,
interacted.
whoa.
That's awesome.
Congratulations.
We've never interacted, but I just think it's kind of cool that's the thing. Like, I don't know what about my art he enjoyed, but hey, yay!
Yay.
Nice.
Congrats.
Well, thank you for
Yeah.
your question for Sally.
No problem.
Have a good one.
You too.
Alrighty. Hold on, Sai, do you want to call up someone? You should call on the people who have their hand raised. Those are people who want to speak. They have a little hand icon next to them.
Oh, let me. I will go with you. And Night Slasher.
All right, Night Slasher, come on up.
How do I?
No, you're good. You're good. They've already been requested to come up.
Okay. I've never used this aspect of Discord before, so
No,
I
you're
am lost.
good. You're good. You are totally fine. Maybe Night Slasher is not here right now.
And oh wait.
Oh, they put their hand down.
Okay.
All right, that's okay. You want to pick another person?
I'm the coolest.
All right, I'm the coolest. Come on up.
Hello.
Hello. You got
Got
a question for
you,
Sai?
Sai.
Hmm.
Yes. If you were like, okay, so my question is, how did you like do the art? Like, how did you do it like that? I mean, I've tried with many apps, but I can't like schedule how like you guys can do it. It's kind of hard.
How do I make the art? Like, are you asking like?
Yeah, like how? Yeah, how do you do it?
On my computer, I use Sai 2.0. Paint tool
That's
site.
a very good one.
And on my tablet, iPad, I use Procreate. I would suggest using Procreate, but yeah, it's $10 versus $50 for Sai.
Dang.
But Sai is
That's a
also
lot
made by
cheaper.
Sai is made by one person, so that's where all the funds go. It's not like a team; it's one person making the program.
Oh.
But both work very well. Both are similar. Both have similar functions.
Yeah.
Hey, that's good to
Thank
know.
you for your question. I'm the coolest.
No problem. See you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. It's my turn to pick again. All right. There's only one person with their hand raised, so how about Trey Thornton? Hello.
Hello.
Hey, hey,
How are you?
I'm doing good, and just want to say it's a great pleasure meeting you, Sai. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Okay, so my question is, what is your most favorite thing to do in drawing?
My favorite thing, honestly, probably poses and expressions. Um, because like there's arts like modern art or paintings of like fruit or still lifes and stuff, but then there's animation art or dynamic art, and that's what I prefer. I like storyboards and I like sketchy art and stuff that expresses emotion and movement and are very colorful and fancy or fantasy stuff like that. So personally, it would be like poses, expressions, ways to show different feelings or concepts.
That's nice.
Yeah. Thanks for your question, Trey.
Thank
No,
you.
no
Thank
problem.
you.
You'll have a great day.
You too.
Me too.
It looks like Night Slasher has their hand raised again.
Come on up. Oh, that's
Okay.
weird. Night Slashers. No.
Oh,
Maybe they have a
I-
technical difficulty.
Your question. Yeah. um, please make sure if you're not gonna be there, you can ask your question in the chat. So I would recommend doing that if you're having technical issues on your end. So yeah.
I had another question if while we're waiting if you wanted to.
sure.
I would say uh what do you like about shading and texturing? Like, would you prefer soft shading or would you prefer cell shading or another form of shading?
So it's weird because in general I prefer cell shading, but I also like if you like look at older anime and they have like the highlight, the middle, and the darker tone, like especially when they get serious or stuff happens. For some reason, like the three steps of those shadings always bugs me, like seeing them visually. So whenever I do cell shading, I try to keep it simple because having the simplicity of it just feels good to me. But I do like
Sure.
soft shading, but that's also dependent on like the art style being used. Um, like in Mob Psycho, the skin for the characters is all softly shaded. It doesn't go for everything, but the skin is always like a vague blur between the shading and the normal tone, and that works really well. And makes things feel very soft. And in shows like Dragon Ball Z, everything is very hardly shaded, and that works for that medium and that story because everyone's punching the crap out of each other. So it depends on where it's being used. But and personally, when I'm coloring, I prefer simple cell shading.
That's
Oh
really
yeah,
cool.
that definitely makes sense. Thank you for explaining in such detail, and that does make sense that different types of media, depending on the type of emotion they're trying to convey, they might change their shading style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's if you've seen the Owl House like promo posters,
Mhm.
the shading in those are a lot more detailed, and I would say it's kind of a mix of simple cell shading and soft shading, and I really like that look. I don't think I would be happy with my art if I did that, but that is something visually I appreciate a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So Rainboom actually has a text question for you, Sai.
Mhm.
Yeah. So Rainboom says, since I've seen that you're a fan of Sad AM, what is your most favorite Sad AM character?
Uh, I again, I haven't watched it since I was little, and I don't remember anything, but I did really like Sally Aiken as a character. Because like a lot of characters at the time, like female characters, were just kind of like either the smart one or the girly one, and that's boring, especially when you're growing up as a girl. But she was very, sweet, a leader, and strong, and I I saw most of that in the Archie comics, more so the Sad AM, but I liked her character a lot.
Yeah, I love strong-willed characters. They're really cool.
I
It's
agree.
even when they're strong-willed but not afraid to like have them show emotion, like Sega seems to be afraid to have Sonic show.
Yeah, it's really cool that they have characters now that are strong-willed and emotional, like Tangle and Whisper.
Yeah. Also
Hmm.
Jewel to an extent too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I've seen comments recently, like just every other day I see like discourse pop up on people's opinion on Amy and Frontiers, and I'm just like, okay, but I do kind of agree that her personality is lower in that, but I don't think that's a bad thing. Um, Personally, like as someone who has depression, but who is also like more drawn to the pink bubbly characters and is considered something like that in my friend group. I It is nice to see the pink bunny one just being able to be sad for once and not like
Yeah.
criticized for it. Just she's sad and she has reasonable reasons to be sad. So it's nice to see that moment. Like it's not going to be her entire character, but being sad generally isn't. When you have depression, you just kind of have that depression for a little bit, and then you go on with your day.
Yeah,
I
that makes
always find
sense.
myself gravitated towards the pink characters. Bonus points if they're like bubbly.
Yes.
So let's see. We have a text question from Night Slasher. For Sai, I want to know what your favorite Sonic game is, and if you have a favorite game, what pet was your favorite in that game?
Uh, so I have a controversial answer for this. I'm not really a gamer, so I have not actually played a lot of the Sonic games. I just have never been very good at playing video games. Um, but I would have to say the Chow. I just think Chow are the cutest overall, like
Yeah.
in every game. And as far as favorites, I like the story in Sonic Adventure 2 a lot. I like the concept of frontiers a lot and like the open worldedness and exploration of like emotions. But I also like um, the Werehog game a lot, just because it is a lot smaller in tone. It's kind of like Frontiers Before Frontiers when they're trying to explore new concepts, but I don't think it landed as well. But
Yeah.
I like the concept of like the one scene that I always find myself thinking of a lot is Amy hugging Sonic when he's a werehog, and then realizing that this doesn't look like Sonic and running away. But she's not like upset at seeing him or scared. She just is like, "Oh, sorry, bye." And I think that's an interesting like view of her character that we don't get to see very often. Like she wasn't scared of Sonic as like this big hairy monster.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, a
really
lot of
cool.
times they've underestimated Amy, but her character actually is a very good character, and I love the way they've given her so much character development.
Mhm.
Yeah. Real for real. I also really like the Chow. But I've also grown to have a deeper appreciation for the Chow just because they've kind of branched off of the Nighttopians from Nights into Dreams. That's really
Mm.
great too.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink some water. I feel my voice dying already.
No, don't worry, you're good. Okay, don't wait to hydrate.
Yeah, keep drinking.
Yep. So Tailsco has a question for you, Sai. What is your favorite Sonic character?
Amy, just no questions
No.
asked, Amy. That's the easiest question that I've been given all day.
Well, it's good to have some easy questions after a whole evening of hard ones, right?
Yeah, I mean, even with the simpler ones, I want to give more detail in my answers because, like, that's something I enjoy looking into is like the small
Yeah.
detail, even if I don't draw them.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah, detail's always great. Like, yeah, the big picture's there, but getting into the details makes stuff so much more interesting, right?
Yeah, like the details as a whole of something is generally why people appreciate it, but like it, something doesn't come together with just one thing. You have to look at like every piece and how it works and why it's there and what the reason is and blah blah blah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, Miles, do you have a question or
Sure. Where's your favorite place to work at? Like, what's your workspace like? Do you normally like to work on your iPad, like on a bed or a couch, or do you like to work on a desk? Or
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
Uh, that's pretty simple. I prefer working at my bed. I like working at the desk, but I found that it's just gets harder and harder to find the motivation to sit at the desk for long periods of time. And also, my back isn't the greatest, so sitting up constantly for hours to draw doesn't help that either. But sitting in my bed, I can uh, sit in whatever position I want and adjust. The only problem is I can do more on my computer. My iPad is an older model, so it doesn't have nearly as many features. And the number of layers that I can use on my iPad is really, really limited. So hopefully I can get a newer model so I can get a larger version of Procreate that doesn't tell me that your image is too big. You can only have 6 layers.
Yeah.
it's a great answer. Thank you for
Yeah.
explaining that.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we have no more questions. So if there aren't any more questions, we're gonna wrap up the panel. So if you guys have any last minute questions, feel free to send them in the chat. Otherwise, we're gonna wrap this panel up. Let's see. Some people are typing. Let's see. We're just gonna wait and see if they
Yeah.
have any questions.
I put the ears on here. No, I put that. Oops.
Sai, if you're like open to suggestions, I'd love to see some like Nights into Dreams art one day.
I,
That would be really cool. Cause
I've I've never played it, as I've said, but I'm
yeah,
just not a gamer. But I've seen the art for it, and I think it's beautiful.
yeah, honestly, it's such a creative concept. And
I
it's actually
don't know
based,
much about it.
yeah,
But
it's
oh,
actually
sorry.
based, me going on my little info dumps. It's actually based on psychology, so of like dreams and whatnot. So that's really cool too.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Oh, also,
Oh,
if you are open to like ideas, if you wanted to possibly get back into SatAM or see more of it, I'd say my favorite character is Antoine and Bunny, and I really love their relationship and their backstories, and they have really good character design. So um, I would suggest like if I don't know if you know too much about those characters or like them, but
they were in Archie too, so I know a little bit about them. I did really like Antoine and Bunny. Bunny's whole like half robot thing was really cool. I wish they brought that back in a modern sense because like Robotnik roboticizing people is kind of in the prime now, and it seems like they're kind of doing that with Amy now. But
Yeah.
that concept was so unique to Bunny, and that she wasn't full robot, and it'd be nice to see that because we don't see a lot of like super evil Eggman, and I have a feeling we're not going to see that again because of how Frontiers went. And that's cool. We have IDW, but it, it's fun seeing the different ways it can go.
Yeah. So Sally Acorn has a question for you, Sai. If you like to listen to any Sonic songs while you draw, which one is your favorite?
Honestly, Dreams of an Absolution.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
That
it
is,
is.
that's my like. If I had to say like off the top of my head what my favorite Sonic song is, it's that. I do really like Amy's character songs. I do really like Live and Learn. Um, there's a lot of like
Yeah.
great songs, but like if I had to just say off the top, it's Dreams of an Absolution.
Yeah. That's really cool.
It's a very different Sonic song, and the even though like the game it came with wasn't up to par, it was rushed out and all that. It's still a really I still think it captures the themes of it and what Silver was trying to do and all that.
Yeah. Let's see. Josh Hodson has a question for you, another one for you, Sai. I mean,
Mhm.
this is a Q&A panel after all. I hear you're
I
a
would hope so.
D&D person, as am I, and I'm curious, have you by any chance seen D&D Honor Among Thieves? And if so, what are your thoughts on it?
I did in fact see it. I think the day after it came out. I really liked it. I think my favorite bits were because I don't know how much is still a spoiler now, but when the bard plays, and then suddenly the bard looks like he's turning into like this horrifying uh, this JPEG GIF that's gone wrong because it was an illusion. That and the grave digging scene where they keep having to dig up corpses because none of the corpses know the answer, so they have to keep finding new corpses to question.
I haven't seen it. I'll definitely have to check it out.
It's a movie where even if you're not a big D&D fan, I think you'll like it because it's got a lot of things for D&D fans. Like one of the monsters that shows up are a Displacer Beast, and like that was like a big thing in our D&D group. Um, and it's not like pointed out that that's one or like a lot of show put into it. It just is.
Yeah.
So it's fun that it has like those little touches. Like even if you're not a fan or you don't know much, you can still get enjoyment out of it. But if you are a fan, you'll notice all the little details.
Nice. Ah, gotcha. All right. Um, I mispronounced your name. I'm sorry, Josh. um, anyways, it looks like there are no more questions. Sai, do you have any closing remarks?
Sonic's awesome. Amy's awesome. Prime is awesome. Frontiers is pretty good from what I've seen. Uh, keep drawing. Don't give up. Anime and D&D is fun.
Yeah. I couldn't have I couldn't have given better closing remarks myself. So, now we are going to invite Leah up to promote the next cartoon night. All right, Leah, take it away.
Hello, everybody. Yes, we do have a cartoon nights this Friday. And what do you know? It's very ironic because what is happening this Sunday?
I wonder what it could be. Oh, Mother's Day.
Yes. Awesome. You guessed it correctly. It is
Woohoo!
Mothers. We are celebrating mothers everywhere this Friday for cartoon nights. So we are going to be watching episodes from cartoons where it's just mothers, you know? Mothers are amazing. You
They
know,
work so hard.
yes, exactly. So, come join us for Mother's Day for cartoon nights this Friday.
Oh, additionally, we have another panel coming up on May 16th at 8 p.m. Eastern. We have the Mighty and Ray panel. So, Mighty and Ray are going to be answering your questions. Sounds exciting. Be sure to come to the cartoon nights, come to the next panel. I'm Vibripple and Inventor Miles is with me as well. And this has been the Q&A panel with Sai. Take care,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you so much
Bye-bye.
for
Yeah,
sharing
thank you,
your art
Sai.
with us.
Yeah, thank
thank
you
you.
for sharing your amazing art.
And all
Thank you
your
for inviting me
answers
on.
were very good as well. You were a very good presentation.
Yeah. Have a
Again,
good
thank
night,
you.
everyone.
Thank you very much and have a nice night.
Yep, you too. Thank you, Sai.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.